Blake Christian is a partner with Holthouse, Carlin and Van Trigt, the largest CPA firm headquartered in Southern California. And Blake, great to see you again.
Very nice seeing you, Mike.
With the fiscal challenges in the US, we hear that the IRS is stepping up enforcement. What steps are they taking?
The IRS has recently rolled out some very invasive audits for both individuals and businesses where they require taxpayers to produce original source documents on basically all of their income and expense items. And from that information, they develop future audit procedures that for say the next 3 or 4 years. And so they're doing thousands of these around the country right now.
Blake, can you tell us about the tax gap and what Congress is doing about it?
Yes, just recently Congress received a report from the Treasury Department that the tax gap is at about $350 billion. So of the $2.7 trillion annual U.S. budget, 97% of those dollars are collected by the IRS. So obviously a very critical part of cash flow for the government. So that $350 billion represents about 16% of the total collection. So what you can glean from that is that 16% of taxpayers are not paying their full share.
So what are the pros and cons of a national sales tax or a flat tax in lieu of the current federal tax system?
Right, well, there's a lot of discussion about the complexity of the U.S. tax system. The Internal Revenue Code is thousands of pages, regulations, rulings, and it's very difficult for the average businessman or individual to prepare their own tax return anymore. And so to ease the complexities, there has been both the national sales tax or value-added tax or a flat tax systems proposed. Part of the problem with the national sales tax, for example, is that it's a regressive tax. It would hurt the poor more than the rich, and even though you could build in some exemptions for the lower income people, it gets a little complicated as to how you would deal with a bunch of family members living in the same household. Does each person get an exemption, etc.? And the complication with the flat tax is you can take different industries. You could take, say, a software company with a very high margin versus a grocery store that may work off a 1 or 1.5% margin. And how do you, is it fair to tax both of those entities on a flat tax system? You have to get cost of goods sold factored in there. And when you start slicing and dicing it, you ultimately end up getting back to a system similar to what we have now, where you'd end up exempting certain income and allowing certain deductions in certain industries. So it's hard to get away from the full complexity.
What other state and federal developments then are you seeing these days?
Again, with the national economy and then the state level economic downturns and record high unemployment, you're seeing a little desperation at the state and local level along with the federal level. And so you're seeing cities and states looking for other revenue sources. So they're adding fees, they're increasing taxes, and all of those have a kind of a contra-stimulus effect that you're actually slowing down business because you're making it more costly. So we're seeing some of that. On the other hand, you are seeing both at the IRS level and the state level a little bit of kinder, gentler attitude with respect to collections. So if somebody is behind on their taxes, there is a tendency for them to work a little more empathetically with that taxpayer than we've seen over the last few years.
And if somebody wants to find out more, Blake, how do they do that?
You can reach us at 562-590-9535, or our website is www.hcvt.com.
Blake, thank you very much.
Thank you.